Hi and welcome. I'm glad you're here today. Today is the day we finally make this thing look like a bit of a shape of a guitar. So let's get started. We'll get this out of the way. Oh boy, this is a good day. Let me set that over here. Here are the sides. And what we're going to do today is cut these off here. So let's get rid of these clamps. Take this thing out of the form. We're going to put the form together, and we are going to put all of this oh yeah, that's really looking good. Now, what I did, if you recall the other day, when we had this clamped in the form, I made some lines across here. And I did one down here. So I will do the same on the other side. We'll get this off here. There's a little springy there. Didn't expect that. Oh, that'll work. That's fine. And I've done the same thing here where I've marked a white line across here. And I've got another line across here. Now what I am going to do is I'm going to cut this on the bandsaw, and I'm going to cut it on the far side of the line, and then I'm going to bump it up against the sander just to make it fit a little smoother. So there are two sides. Okay, we got that out of the way. All right. So now it's over to the bandsaw to cut this. Now, you know what? I think first what we'll do is I'll run this right around the inside as well, just to show you another way of doing this. We'll use this little guide here. The pencil is sharp. I always sharpen the pencil before I use it at any time. By the way, if you do not get this absolutely tight at the back and at the front, it really doesn't matter that much, only from the standpoint that we are going to make sure that we can bump it on the wide side against the sander. But more importantly, you're going to have a tail wedge on there. We're going to cut this anyway. Even if it fits perfectly tight, we're still going to split it. And at the front, we're going to do the same thing. It's going to come together, but the neck is going to come down in front of it and cover it all. And then the purfling running around and the binding, you're never going to see any of that. So that is, wow. We got lucky on that one. This is a little wavy here. We talked about this ripple. And some people were asking me what I would do. I would spray that with Super Soft 2. And I might then put it on the bench, put a board on top of it, and clamp it, and it would flatten that right out. All right, now, what I am going to do here is, as I mentioned to you just a second ago, I will sharpen the pencil. I've got a line on the top. That's good. And the bottom end of that, I know I have to bump, so that one we're not going to do. This one we've got pretty close. All right, we didn't need this after all. Just to tell you what I have to do next. I have to take all the camera equipment out of here now, because we're going to start cutting. And I'm going to start using the sander, which is going to put a whole bunch of sawdust in the air. So I have to take down the lighting. I have to move the tripod and the lights out, put it all away. I then have to get a different camera. I will come down and I will set that up. I'll bring my bandsaw into here, and then we'll cut it, and I'll show you how we do that, and then we'll start gluing the thing together so that it starts looking something like that, but that it actually fits together. So that's the plan. So before we get onto that stage, which involves more work, I need a break. Oh my goodness, it's been such a hard day. Oh my goodness. If you're on a train, you're on a bus, if you're in the car, if you're sitting in your kitchen, you're in your living room, you're at your office, you're on the computer, or you're taking your mid-morning break, get yourself a cup of English breakfast tea. You'll be so glad you did. And if you subscribe and you hit the bell, one day you're going to be notified and you're going to see me on a video. Are you ready? I'm going to actually try a cup of coffee. I said it. I can't believe I did it, but I am going to try one. I'll try one of Peter's brands of coffee. I'll get the weakest, but I'll try it anyway, just for you guys. All right, let's get on with it. All right, we're about to cut the sides. Now here's the problem. If I come in like this, as you can see, well, you can't because I've got you focused down here, but the top part of this is hitting this, and I haven't got enough clearance. So how do you do this, and how do you keep it straight? The best way I have found is to mark this right around here and again on the inside. I then cut it backwards on the bandsaw, which means I know I've got it level here, and I'm going to bring it in this way and cut it. So let me reposition the camera just to show you how we're going to do that. So what I'm going to do is line up this bottom line with the top, because I know this is straight. And then I'm just going to start this, and then I'm going to just bring it through. Okay. There's more chance of that cut being absolutely perfect than there is if we were going through it flat like that. It just doesn't work that way. So let's take this back over to the form and see how close we've come. I believe I mentioned to you before that one of the tendencies of this wood is to spring back level, and that has happened with this a little bit. I've got this heater going. I want to know how hot we got. You can see how much steam we got coming off there. And I'm giving this a little spritz. Just to warm this sucker up and bend this side just a tad bit more. And then I will fit it to the form. You'll know when you're at the right temperature, this will just automatically just bend like butter. I've got it clamped here to the bench, and I just want to make sure that it's good and tight. You take your time with this. And you can see what's happened already. Can you see the different color? This is wet. This is now dry because of where we've been bending it. Just want to keep a little bit of moisture in there. In fact, if you look, it's gone right through to the other side here where it's drying this out. So we want to keep that just damp. I didn't think we'd have to do this because it fit pretty good. And I'm applying just the slightest bit of pressure with my hand. You hear that cracking? Well, optimistic as I am, I thought I would get the entire guitar put together today, but that doesn't look like it's going to happen. This video is already pushing 11 minutes, 12 minutes, and I have at least 3 more segments to put together in order to complete this process, and that could bring us up over 20, 25 minutes, and I'm sure you don't have that much time to watch this. So let's do it as a part 2. So this would conclude part 1 of the gluing of the sides together with the head block and the tail block, and we'll complete all of that in the next video, and I'll show you just what it's going to look like. We've got some excellent stuff coming, and you're going to really enjoy it. But in the meantime, what you need to enjoy is a cup of English breakfast tea. You know, this is really worth selling your kids. Honestly, they just get in the way anyway, and they cause you nothing but problems. You got to feed them, you got to educate them, and you could be drinking more English breakfast tea. How good is that? Anyway, you know, I'm just pulling your leg. I would never sell my kids. Or would I? Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I'm delighted that you're here. Please hit the subscribe button and that crazy bell so you get notified of when I may drink a cup of coffee. Oh boy, I can't imagine that. But anyway, the English breakfast tea is an absolute winner. Hey, we need to do another tea with Monty and start thinking about that. I still want to do a live event. So maybe some of you could tell me exactly how that happens and send me a little note either by email or in the comments section. And by all means, go down below. The links are there for the email and everything else that you're going to need. So thank you so much. We'll get to part 2 in the next episode. Thank you very much. And this is it for me today. Thanks. I'm out of here. Oh man, it's so good. Bye for now.